Welcome to Ecomm Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we talk about one thing and one thing only. That's what's now and next in e-commerce. So marketers and operators and founders like you can survive and thrive. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. And we're coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the Austin, Texas area. It's beautiful outside and it's heating up in here because we've got a jam-packed show for you today. Brought to you by Seguno and Postscript and AMP, our beloved sponsors. GenZ ins and outs. An interesting article from Marketing Brew. They may, turns out, be the most normal, nostalgic generation, much more than we expected, maybe even much more than me. There's a report from TikTok that tells us all to stop chasing efficiency. I'm not sure if that's true, or maybe there's a little bit of sweetener in that bag. The future of work. Is it rent a human? Are we going to be managing AI agents, or are AI agents going to be managing us? Meet tasks may be the new gig economy. We're going to get into it. And founder Jeremy Ogorek from the VanMan company is going to join us live. And he's going to tell us why maybe starting a restaurant to promote your D2C brand may be the best move that you've ever made. Interesting. And we're going to get into it more. As always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside of this show, Colin.
Let's go. Let's go.
Boy, lot to talk about today.
Lots to talk about today.
Lot to talk about today. And I'd like to start off with GenZ because I found this report to be so interesting. That's not all this report was on, but this was the most interesting part for me. GenZ is telling us what's dead, what's hot, what's now, and marketers need to pay attention, especially if we want to keep up. I think some predisposed notions about this age group, it turns out to be evolving and changing. What's interesting for me, GenZ ends watching sporting events live, 75%. That's in. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 63% voted in. Chain restaurant nostalgia, 50% voted in. It's 7 times higher than Gen X. What's out? Celebrity beauty brands, 85% voted out. Did you expect that one?
No.
I wouldn't have expected that one either. 85% celebrity beauty brands out. AI generated art, 83% voted out. K-pop bands, 79% voted out.
Yeah.
I think what this means to me is that I think a lot of the things that are now that have been successfully scaled and high producing in revenue, GenZ is saying, hey, it's played out. We don't want any more of that. We want we want normalcy. We want analog. We want old school chain restaurants, watching sports together, all of these things. To me, this is really compelling. And I think it's something that we should pay attention to. Colin, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking I need to put an Applebee's on the sidelines of Raven Stadium
Yes.
so that we can watch some games while we actually enjoy a chain restaurant. And
Exactly.
Applebee's is amazing. Don't even get me started on the fact that
Exactly.
Applebee's is an American staple.
It's a staple.
It's
a staple. Yeah, I think, a lot of us who are on the internet always, we might think, oh, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I got to do it. But, I work really hard at it. Maybe nobody else is interested, it's just, this is for the masses, and Gen Z, they're too cool for it. No, actually, they love it. And chain restaurants, there's a story, a great friend of mine. He is most definitely a hipster. Okay. Very academic. Okay. He's PhD, he's a professor. We've been best friends for a long time. We grew up in the same town. One of the most popular restaurants was Chili's. Okay. This is, early 2000s, 90s. And I've got a Chili's in my town. I love going to Chili's. I still go to Chili's. And when he heard that I still go to Chili's, he just erupted with laughter. He's like, you're like the only person who's keeping Chili's in business. Well, no, actually, Chili's is the most popular fast casual restaurant in the country and has continued to be. And that lead only grows. Why? Because they provide excellent value that is very predictable. It's enterable. I can get a sit down nice meal for $10, salsa, chips, burger, drink, all of the things, appetizer. I can get all that for $10. And you know who loves that? Gen Z does. I mean, Gen Z, who is becoming the defining generation of our economy as we grow and as boomers age out. It's interesting to me. They don't think that's old hat. Things that, millennials might push back on. No, it's, who cares? We're looking for other things. No, actually, Gen Z digs it. Getting together, watching the Super Bowl, going to eat at Chili's, buying the deal on Black Friday. It's not old hat. They dig it. And I think a big piece of this is value. It's value. Black Friday, I can get a great deal. Chili's, I can get a great deal. Watching sports together, I can actually get together with my friends and have an experience. It's live and it doesn't cost me anything because it's on standard TV. Is that too much, or you think there might be something there?
No, I love it. And then the counter of that is the things that are completely out, I think are overproduced, kind of like over commercialized things where like obviously you have K-pop that, that's its own thing, but it's very over commercialized, it's overproduced. AI generated art, it's kind of like again overproduced, over commercialized, and then celebrity beauty brands. We've just seen a ton of them. And it's just the same playbook over and over again. And so they're really looking for that more fun, warm, fuzzy feeling. And I would say they're excited about Black Friday, Cyber Monday if it's actually a good deal. You need brands to actually have good deals on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I hate this idea where brands are just going to say, "Hey, we're going to do our standard, and we're just going to kind of bake it as our Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal." Give us a crazy deal. Make it super exciting. Give me back the in-person stuff where I have to like elbow a grandma in the face to like, like give me.
I think this is a great point. It made me wonder, maybe for a niche, cool, let's say your brand does have a retail location that's kind of like HQ, let's say, or maybe there's a few.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe you can create a cool in-person Black Friday only experience IRL in that store. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
I think I have long just relegated that to like it's a time gone by. That was the 90s, it was the 2000s, and now everybody's just going to sit at home and order something on the internet. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's a way to create a really winsome, packed in there experience inside of your location that gives people something to remember and gives, especially our younger generation, Gen Z, an opportunity to get a great deal and have a memory that is made attached to getting that value and great deal. Couple of other themes I think that come up for me. I think overproduced, great point.
Yeah.
Seen it so many times. Big celebrity brand, maybe it's played out. I think that's a great point. Same with AI generated art. Okay, there's a flood of it. I'm like overwhelmed with it. It's just played out. It's like too much.
Yeah.
It seems to me that there's also a kind of hidden element underneath here for, and perhaps I'm reading too much into this, but a longing for the analog, tactile, less online world that is the 2000s and before, the 90s, the 80s. And maybe that's why some of that fashion is back in style, with low-rise jeans and other things. I want, is that too much?
Yeah. I love it. No, I think that's exactly it. And you can't AI-ify football. You can't AI-ify like a game that you're watching with your friend.
Exactly.
That can't turn into AI. You can't AI a nice little trip to Olive Garden, unlimited breadsticks, and you're just filling up. Okay. Let's talk about another staple, Olive Garden. I'm getting hot right now, dude. You want to talk about American staples?
Yes.
Olive Garden's one too. You can't really turn that into AI. And I would implore them not to, because it's still very cozy, it's fun, it's warm. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the old branding for Starbucks. Basically in the late to mid 90s, it used to be very cozy coffee shop vibe. They used to have really, really nice chairs. They used to have books. They used to have like Nora Jones CDs for sale, that kind of
Exactly.
stuff. And the branding was very like, mom millennial core, the kind of thing. Uh, I wish they would lean into that and bring it back and make it a little bit less so corporate polished. And I think that's one where it would just be, you lean back into it and you see how Gen Z's reacting to stuff, you would hit a home run.
I think there's something to this. It's like we are missing the third place that used to exist in our
That's
culture. It's
it.
not work, it's not home.
That's it.
This third place, what is it? It's watching sports with my friends
Yeah.
live. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Chain restaurant where it's predictable, good deal. There's going to be people there. Like I can count on it. I know what I'm going to get. It's kind of a
Unlimited breadsticks.
third. Exactly. Unlimited breadsticks. It's kind of a third place.
Yeah.
And Starbucks, this was really their secret
Oh.
sauce, was that they're not just selling coffee, they're really selling community. They're selling a third place where I can go and be, it's going to cost me a couple bucks, $2, $3. Maybe you get a fancy order, cost you $5, but you can go and be there with your friends.
Yeah.
In live, in living color, IRL. I wonder on this value side, I think based on these trends and what we've seen with Goodwill, I think there's real opportunity for those who are able to thrift, who are able to find things of yesteryear. Or, there's even like Oren highlighted this company that's producing CD players that you can look into. They're producing flip phones.
Yeah.
I think there's something to this, both on the product development side, but also maybe just the product sourcing side. If you have the ability to get thrifted items in bulk, find real gems, and then sell those, of course, at a higher markup. But if you could do that consistently, to me, what this screams is that there is an audience for you. And I know there was like hey, I got the Aerosmith t-shirt from the 80s to sell it for $300, but I know that's a real thing. But also maybe you sell it for 50. Maybe you sell it for 60. If you can do it predictably, to me, this reads as there's real opportunity in this next generation that's centered on value in real life, nostalgia, analog, old school, yesteryear. I think there's something here.
Yeah. And I would argue too, I mean, you talked a little bit about thrifting. Thrifting talks a lot about like, you're off your phone thrifting, first of all, and you're kind of diving through history. You're diving through the history of a brand and you're kind of getting to know some stuff like, oh, wow, this is like a 2004 XYZ thing. Is this company still even around anymore? This is crazy. Yeah. Or like, oh, there's a kids thing. I didn't even remember this. Did you remember this when we used to watch this TV? Like there's this nostalgia warm feel. Yeah. You're off your phone. You can find some gems. I always will find a gem thrifting. And you just see the value there where it's like, oh, this was fun. This was a cool, like, I don't know, 30 minutes to 45 minutes we spent together.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people probably in our industry who would say like, you kind of poo-poo on that. You can't make too much money doing that. Like if you're going to be a thrift shop of sorts. And I get that, but also there are other examples of people who, and they thrift, they have a thrifting business, they get items in bulk and they're mid 7 figures per year. Yeah. So I don't think it's anything to laugh at or snuff at. I even saw last night, I was on TikTok and there's this girl who comes up in the feed and she is so excited because she found early 2000s Hollister era low-rise jeans that used to be all the rage that, Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and everyone would wear. And she has found this gem, and I think there's something to this. I think there's something to it.
I'm going to start rocking double Hollister polos on the show now.
I think it's only right.
Double collar
popped. It's only fitting. You got to pop. You have to.
Pop's crazy.
Pop I got collars.
I got to draw the line.
Do you remember? It used to be when you went into a Hollister store, like a lot of times people work in the store, like the guys got no shirt on, and the girls are in bikinis. You remember that?
And they would spray you.
It's wild.
Spray you with like the craziest scents, and you would be like, "Oh my god, I just smell like Hollister now."
was a wild time.
It was crazy.
A wild time. I
Yeah,
can't imagine that actually happening in a
yeah,
retail experience now, but it's a
yeah.
wild time. Well, as we move forward to our next story here, before we do, I want to talk about numbers, and I am talking about AMP. Guys, if you cannot explain how your business is doing inside of a sentence or two or a single dashboard, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. This is one of the things that I love about AMP is their tool Lifetimely. It allows you to scale with confidence. Make it easy on yourself. How? Because you can answer boss man, you can answer yourself, you can answer anyone on the team. What is our CAC? What's our LTV? How are we trending to forecast? What's this cohort look like, etc. And that's not all. They're actually developing with their AI tool over the next 30 days. You're going to see this interview come out with Patrick, their CEO, literally on Friday. They are developing capabilities to where their AI doesn't simply wait to be prompted. It is prompting you. Hey, this cohort stinks. Hey, this product, drop it. Hey, there's a big missing over here inside of your upsell experience that you're not taking advantage of. This is the way to actually utilize AI to make money inside of our business, not just an executive assistant or a help on making more ads. Go to useamp.com, test drive their platform, tell them Colin and I sent you. You're going to find more dollars for your business. Scale with confidence in 2026. Many thanks to our partners at AMP. Colin, this report from TikTok just came out, and it is from the platform, okay?
Yep.
Premium payoff, how high impact formats deliver cheaper business outcomes. I'd like to read through some of these points because essentially what it is saying is that you should not merely chase efficiency, which I think is contrary to just about all of us ever. Most of the time, most media buyers want efficiency, right? I want to spend the least and make the most. Well, actually, what they're putting forth here, and I do think there's something to consider, although we got to know it is coming from TikTok, but there is something to consider here. They're seeing bigger results from people who do not necessarily have the lowest CPMs or other metrics. I'm going to read some of this to you. You tell me. This is point one of this report. Carson, if you have it, you can bring it up. If not, no worries. I've got it. Point number one, stop chasing the efficiency trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Stop. It reminds me of that Star Wars meme. Stop chasing the efficiency trap. Low CPMs do not always equal better value. Our analysis found that premium formats like Top View and Pulse carry higher media costs, but deliver higher revenue per impression compared to standard formats. Match your format to your objective, not the lowest price tag. If you need a breakthrough launch, premium formats justify their cost. If you need to sustain brand impact over long periods of time, utilize auction formats. The best approaches utilize a mix of objectives fitted to campaign and business goals. So they're referencing some other types of formats inside of their experience. But just what's your reaction to this at first blush? Does it sound crazy? Does it sound like they're just trying to get more of my money?
Yeah, it sounds like, hey, we're not good enough, but let me explain to you why that's okay. Is kind of what they're doing right now. It's like, no. You don't want it. You don't want the good metrics. Let me show you about the other metrics. It's way better. I'm telling you. No, trust me. We got to focus on context instead of like the CPMs. Like, let's not get data driven here.
Yeah.
Let's like vibe. Let's vibe a little bit in TikTok. Like that's how I feel. That's how I feel like they're selling this. They're like, look, we know we're not as good as Meta in the ads manager, but it's okay. We're fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Use this other format. You know, it definitely comes off that way to me at first as well.
Yeah.
And maybe if there was like a third party that was saying this, I might be like, okay, I mean, something to this. Why don't we try this or test that? But just at first blush to say, hey, lower CPMs is not always better. At first, it makes me go, oh, I don't know, man. I'd like to spend as little as possible and get the maximum amount of yield I can.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting point that we'll hear from Patrick, CEO at AMP, later on in this week. He's got research too that backs some of this up in the sense that oftentimes people with the highest CAC costs also have the highest LTV, which is interesting. A significantly higher LTV on a higher CAC cost. And so he has something to say on the backside of juicing your LTV and it actually solving some of your CAC problems. But I don't think that's what TikTok is necessarily getting into here. They're not referencing LTV. They bring up another interesting set of points. I'm talking about point 3 here, Carson. Creative quality is the primary driver. Okay, I think that's fair. I would say,
Absolutely.
yeah. But some of these points here, I think, are noteworthy. There's a direct statistical correlation between average play duration and ROI. Simply put, the longer you keep their attention, the more you sell. Fair. Like that. It's good to say the obvious out loud. Hook your audience, capture their attention with showmanship qualities that draw them in. The 2-second rule. I like this one. The 2-second rule. Show your brand identity within the first 2 seconds. Keep it snappy. Aim for a total duration under 25 seconds. I thought those 2 things were great.
Yeah.
Show the brand inside of the first 2 seconds. Try to keep it under 25. We've heard things about organic content on TikTok. Hey, lean in to longer videos at times. Hey, test actually a 16:9. These things come out.
Sure.
They come out on and on. But I thought this was good rule of thumb here for ads. I don't think that I have necessarily played by these, but I find it helpful.
Yeah. I think also to steal a little bit from Herman, you need to take this, you need to put this into basically a PDF or a text file and upload this into your LLM. And then when you're making videos or ads, say, hey, here's my video, here's my ad. This is what TikTok just published. How many of these things are hitting from what TikTok just published? And then it'll say, hey, you're 6 out of 10. You need to adjust these 4 things. Okay, cool. Now I'm 10 out of 10. Great. Push the video out.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, why not utilize the AI? Why not utilize their own documentation?
Always.
They brought this up in the article as well. We don't have to show this one, but they're trying to make a point that TikTok works best in concert with other ad platforms you may be running at the same time. And they specifically mention connected TV, which at first listen, I'm like, well, yeah, of course. If I can get more exposure in other places, probably going to make my TikTok ads perform better as well. I'm not down on TikTok. I don't think they're going away, although Gracie Abrams deleting of her account did give me some concern. They're obviously not going away. I don't think they have supplanted Meta, but I find this to be interesting information for how to win on the platform, especially coming from the platform itself. I specifically like the 2-second rule and the 25-second duration ad for less than that. I think it's interesting. Any other takeaways for you for TikTok before we move on?
I mean, TikTok's ads been around for a minute now. I want to say 4 years. Is that right?
Something like that.
It's been 4 years. You should be better than this. You shouldn't have to need other ad platforms for you to perform really well. Like, you need to start building and being a standalone platform and figure that out, where like people can go in day 0 and media buy and get immediate purchases. That would be my huge ask for them. Is nobody really rivals Meta as this is my day 0. I'm gonna jump into this. I'm gonna start firing away. I think you can do it. You have enough user data. Let's make this really viable. Make this a really viable channel. 3 years ago, I thought it was gonna absolutely eat Meta's lunch and become the second coming of best ads platform in the world. And then it's just kind of stumbled. And then it's been repurchased and moved around and all that stuff. And it's like, figure this piece out and we'll give you all of our money.
Be like Zuck. Be like Zuck,
Zuck's the man.
Zuck's the man, bro.
He really is.
Zuck is the man.
A little bit of MMA as well. You got to have a cool CEO.
Yeah. And he is. He has gone from coding nerd to jacked and an MMA wrestler. And he's the GOAT.
He's cool.
Fraser Cottrell, also known as Sour Fraser on Twitter.
Big fan.
released a similar video, AI UGC, that we highlighted on Monday, which is shaky video, okay, authenticity, et cetera, et cetera. And he teased us. He teased us. Hey, look at this. You like this? You want me to release the prompt? Let's play the video, Carson.
Everyone is on GLP-1, but I didn't want the injections, so I found these tablets that support your body's own GLP-1, and my appetite has completely changed. I'm not constantly thinking about food anymore, and they are...
Okay, I think pretty clear. Okay, yes, I want the prompt. It mirrors exactly what we saw on Monday: shaky camera, authenticity, raw, all the things. And the payoff here is that's just part of the prompt now. Okay?
Yeah.
And this was cheaper. It was faster. He one-shotted this. Okay, he just entered the prompt and out popped this video. It would have taken much longer to contact a human, give her a script, tell her just make up a script. Hey, please film something. It would have taken much longer. He one-shotted this.
Yeah.
I think that we should show this prompt. Let's bring up the prompt here, Carson. Obviously, it's very long, and we don't have to read all of it. But the good news here, he did this with Sora. The good news here is this is possible. It's possible for all of us. And who knows how long this alpha will last? Maybe only 60 days, as Oren John astutely tells us of many things. But a woman 35 to 45 years old films herself on her iPhone front-facing camera while casually walking through her bright modern home, et cetera, et cetera. We'll leave it for the audience to read. But this excites me, and I am going to use this. I'm going to use this exact prompt for an ad next week. I'm glad he gave away a little game here. What do you think of this when you saw it?
This is wild. Also, the slight signaling too for the house she's in is very spacious and modern, and so you assume that the person making the video is coming from a upper middle class to wealthier background. The house was beautiful. The fact that it's all AI generated is insane. It's really, really good. This is a really, really good ad, and the fact that you can basically just chop up 10 different hooks and then go into the rest of the video probably is insane. The amount of A/B testing you can do at scale for what resonates for a hook for my audience, what script resonates, and then take all of that. And then here's the key to the whole thing. Then start to give that to real influencers with real followers, with real following on TikTok or Instagram. You already have the success metrics for what's working for a hook and a script because you just blasted out a bunch of AI stuff with it. Like, that's kind of the playbook, how I'm thinking about this, where you can just get all of the data right away.
That's a great point, and I think it's a good takeaway. I tend to think of these things in a few ways when I see these types of ads and videos. Like, number one, that's incredible. Number two, that's going to save me a lot of money. Number three, I can do it faster than anybody else. And probably the window on this thing is going to be pretty small. But I think being able to test this and then hand it off to an actual human with a real audience that you can nurture that relationship, I think that's a great point that people should add in here. It almost allows you to test scripts and types of videos and then hand it off to a pro, somebody who can be a long-standing advocate of your brand and nurture that relationship. I think that's wise.
I mean, Cody, a friend of the show, has gone into this by saying what he does is he takes it a little bit of a step further, where he'll use the software HeyGen, which basically makes an avatar. He makes an avatar for the brand. He makes 1,000 HeyGen videos of AI testing 100 different hooks and 100 different scripts, pushes all of that into Facebook all at once, basically lets it spend over a month. And then he pulls all of the learnings from 1,000 different ads. All of that was AI. It didn't cost him anything. All it cost him was ad spend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cody's a smart guy.
Cody's a genius.
I'm glad that we had him on the show. Carson, I want us to move forward to the future of work. But before we get there, let's talk about focus. You know, the reason that Cody can do stuff like that is because he is focused. Postscript is the only SMS partner in our ecosystem who all they do is obsess over SMS all day, every day. That's why they're so good at it. When people make the switch, like I did, on average, they see a 22% increase in revenue from SMS, but that's not all that they want to see. They want to make SMS your #1 revenue generating channel. When I made the switch, we went from making very little money via that channel to being a top 1% account on their entire platform inside of a year. That made me look like a mega gigabrain marketer, and I got lots of pats on the back as a result. And a nice bonus too, I'll have to say. Postscript, go and talk with them. If you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, what you're going to be able to see is my company, this vertical, this revenue band, what's normal, what should we be doing, where can we go from here? Bake in a 22% increase. Why don't you just put that in your back pocket and then go and talk with Postscript and do what they say? That's what I did. And that's how our revenue grew so much. Many thanks to our partners at Postscript. We appreciate them being part of the show. Okay. The future of work is, I think, very different than what maybe it could be. I have been on the side of we are going to be managing agents a lot more in the future than managing humans.
Yeah.
But something that was released yesterday, I think maybe gives us a window into another side of this whole coin that we have been looking at. I'm talking about rentahuman.ai. This is an actual thing, okay? If you're hearing about this for the first time, rentahuman.ai. Robots need your body. This is the gig economy for completing tasks that AI agents have been commissioned with, and they need what they're finally referring to as meat. These are meat tasks. They require a human IRL in real life to complete them. And you can go on here and you can make yourself available. You can put who you are, what you do, accept jobs, promote yourself, etc. I think this gives a whole new window into what at least some of our future could look like. What if humans become the task completer instead of the task manager? Colin, do you think there's something to this? Do you think it's too early? I do think it's early, but do you think there could be real validity to this moving forward in the gig economy?
No, this is just TaskRabbit with extra steps. Like, I don't see this at all, because I don't think people also want to go down this rabbit hole, really. I am so anti this entirely. I think it's going to be the other way around. Hopefully our robot overlords spare me, but I think it's going to be us managing them to deal with basically the menial tasks that we don't want to do daily. So like laundry, dishes, vacuuming, these types of things. Once a robot does that, I'm going to give you all my money. That's the truth of the matter. You find a robot to figure out like the menial tasks of, keeping up with your house and doing all the random stuff. Yeah, that means I can spend more time with my wife and hang out.
This is the point, though, is that there's going to be a significant amount of time in between AI agents can do a lot, and now robots are readily available ubiquitously and can do said tasks. There's going to be a gap there. I don't know how long that gap is. Maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 15. I don't know. But as we continue to involve AI agents inside of our business, and there are tasks that they are managing that they cannot complete without flesh, there's going to be an opportunity open here that, of course, will be relegated to a robot in the future. But for now, those robots are not capable. They are not here. They are not available. And somebody who is driving DoorDash, somebody who's picking up things from somebody's house, there's going to be a large amount of work available that's just not commissioned by me. It's commissioned by an agent that I have carrying out something on my behalf, or replace it with some kind of organization, et cetera. So inside of that gap, I think there's going to be a significant amount of work available here. Is that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy. But again, it's just TaskRabbit with extra steps. I think that I don't see that these are AI that's going to be doling out these tasks when TaskRabbit can basically just turn on a feature, and then this is going to be the next step in TaskRabbit, really. I don't see it. I don't see it, but that's where we disagree.
That to me just means that this is actual, but maybe instead of rent a human, it's happening inside of TaskRabbit.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that it feels a little dystopian. Obviously,
Yeah.
feels Matrix-ish. Obviously, nobody likes that. But if there is significant job loss and people are looking for other opportunities, hey, I mean, I don't mind making $1. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if somebody's bot is going to give me $1 through TaskRabbit or through some other platform, I mean, I'll take $1, I suppose, as long as it's a generous rate. I'll take $1 via a bot just as much as I would through a human. I would think, if I'm looking for a few extra opportunities.
Yeah, it's either that or you have to go on your mandatory state-sanctioned Mr. Beast games of the day show to compete for money and risk your life, Hunger Games style.
It's like Hunger Games or Running Man style.
Yeah, while having your slop bowl.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want our future to look like that. Okay, before we move forward, and Jeremy from VanMan is going to join us here very soon. I think that we should look at Claude. Claude has come out and told us no ads are coming. They had this video, betrayal, and then they have this nice video that plays afterward. And basically what they're telling us is that we're the anti-OpenAI. OpenAI is giving you ads. We're not going to give you ads. At first, I love this. I think this is great. But on second thought, it made me also kind of wonder, like, is this smart for them? Could this be a place in which I do run ads in the future? It also made me wonder, like, how many people are using Claude versus OpenAI versus Gemini, et cetera. This graph shows here. It looks like most of us are inside chat right now, very by a generous amount, and that's understating it. Do you like this from Claude? Do you hate it? What angle are you coming at this from?
I hate it. This is cool for now, but eventually money's going to reign all, and they're going to have to, start spinning up ads for inside of Claude just to get revenue. Like they just can't fundraise their way out of this or something like that. I hate this.
That was my take in the beginning when I started thinking about this. Is like, I guess Anthropic just has a lot more revenue generators than maybe Chat or Gemini does. I mean, that just doesn't quite make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense mathematically.
I also wondered, why come out with this now? I get it, but it may be something you have to eat crow on later. And it didn't make sense as a brand win in the long term if they got to promise something that they're going to eventually have to take away.
Yeah, it's like, are you going to go super enterprise then? Is that your play where you're going to be a very enterprise level thing? It's going to be a very big package, that kind of stuff. Or like, are you thinking about, okay, well, we're going to make all of our revenue off of a hardware play. We're going to have Claude home bots and stuff like that. And that's where we're going to make all of our money. But to draw a line in the sand right now and be like, we're not going to do ads. It's just like, there's no point in saying this.
Yeah, maybe a little early.
A little early, exactly.
Save some face for later in case you have to go back on it.
Yeah,
I do like it. It's bold. It's a bold move, Cotton. But may have to go back and eat that one later on.
Yeah.
A very special person has just joined us here. It is the one and only Jeremy of VanMan Company. Get inside of here. Get inside of here, sir. We welcome you to the show.
How's it going?
Brother,
let's go.
This conversation has been a long time coming, my friend. I have known of you for many years on the interwebs, and now we finally get to talk with you here. Jeremy, man, if you would, and I'll just give you some background on why we wanted you to come on the show. We feel that, or I feel, I'll say, and I think Colin backs me up.
Yeah.
I think it's what you have done leaning into the mission of the man and, making a few enemies along the way. Sometimes people like it, sometimes they don't. Having an enemy for your messaging, be it big toothpaste or whoever it is, I think that's really smart for startups and for people that are up and coming. Gives people something to identify and cheer for. Give us perspective on how you came to arrive at that and lean into this for your toothpaste, your pulling oil and all of the things. Did you do that on purpose?
I've just always been like argumentative. So yeah, I just like, I don't know. If somebody says one thing, I like try to say the other thing. And it's kind of like, that kind of gets you into a lot of trouble. But yeah, I kind of do feel like we are like at war, like not like a swords and stuff, but like a spiritual kind of, like all these companies, just every time you uncover some private equity that bought something, or it all just turns to shit like every single time. And it's just like, it's got to be either like, I don't know if it's nefarious or it's just like for money, or I don't know what the reason is, but it is like happening, and it's like it needs to be stopped. Like where we spend our money, like it does. I think it's starting to make a big change. I think we're starting to hit the bottom lines of those big companies that really just put out like sludge, I think, and that they just market it really well. And yeah, it's just been natural for me. I've just always liked to argue.
A little built-in contrarianness there.
Yeah.
Well, I think that question or that feeling, inclination on the inside that, hey man, something's not right in our current world. And the products that I get, I used to trust it, but now actually I did get a little bit more into it. Maybe it's poisoning me. I think a lot of people feel that way, which has got to be a big part of your success and what you're able to do now with your products.
Yeah, I think everybody's got like my grandparents, like one of my grandma had Alzheimer's, and like I think everybody has that story of somebody that's like way too young. And yeah, it's just like what is causing that, because you have people in like, I think it's like PD Mangan, or I forget what his name on Twitter, but they'll talk about like these Brazilian guys that are like 90 years old, they're sprinting up hills and all they're eating is like just this fresh food. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's a new concept. Like the boomer kind of mindset was just like trust the marketing. They'll put like made with aloe vera on the front, and then that means it's good, but the rest is all bad. So I think like it's starting to, I don't know, like an awakening of what you put in your body, what you put on your body is what your body eventually is made out of. And it's yeah, I think people are tired of seeing people die too early or get these debilitating things. And I forgot the original question, but yeah,
well, Jeremy, it's funny because I don't know if you've seen him on Twitter. There's a guy who started this company called Oasis, where he's, you can go. He just released this feature where you can take your phone and scan the shelves of anything in a store and see basically the scale of 0 to 100 on how good or bad it is for you. And I think people, Gen Z and all of us, are starting to wake up and be like, I'm tired of putting garbage into my body. I'm seeing how it affects long term, because everybody has that story where you're like the grandpa that has Alzheimer's, and you're like, I don't want to turn into that.
yeah,
Like let's take care of ourselves. I love what you're doing. I also think it's crazy that you have a hard company, which is a D2C company, and you immediately were like, I'm going to start the hardest vertical in the world, which is a restaurant. Yeah. I have the utmost sympathy for you. My parents owned a restaurant for 30 years. Can you tell us about this restaurant? How is it doing? What is going on, dude? I have all the questions.
Yeah, it's doing really well. Like we're like logistically, we're trying to not run out of things every day, but it's good problems. Like the Saturday and Sunday is just, it's nuts. Like the weekdays are like in San Diego, it's kind of like dead season in January. Like you wouldn't expect much, but yeah, we've had lines out the door. We're selling a ton. I think we're like very uniquely positioned because we have, like most restaurants, they'll have a loss leader. Like the loss leader is the burger. They make money on the drinks or onion rings or whatever. But I think we have like the entire restaurant is a loss leader, and we could go in and push our products. So I think that's kind of the goal now, is like expand, because we'll get like probably 30% of people know the company, like they know the products, and a lot of people are like, oh, what's Tallow? Like, well, there's so many people that don't know. I don't know if they're just not as chronically online as like we are, but yeah, they don't even know about it, and then they're like, wow, this is cool. And then the burger, it's got to be good enough, and they love the burger, and then they come back for more, and each time they come in, they see some deodorant or they see this, and like I think we could just chip away and just eventually get them on the VanMan train, basically.
Wow.
I love this for so many reasons, and the number one being it's so outside of the box. It's so outside of the
100%.
box. You know,
100%.
I am going to start a restaurant.
Yeah.
Huge investment. I mean,
Yeah.
huge time, energy, and the whole thing's going to be a loss leader so that I can point people to the bigger mission and I can point people to my products. Hey, the stuff that you put on your skin, it matters. The stuff that goes inside of your mouth, it matters. And this stuff that we're cooking your fries with, this stuff that we're making your food with, that tastes great, that's what should be inside of your body. And you should be using, you know, the tallow, you should be using, and this kind of toothpaste, etc. To me, it's like it's so outside of the box, and it seems like it's working. I mean, it's working.
Yeah. I mean, the I think the coolest review that we get a lot is that I don't feel bloated afterwards. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're serving you fast food. Like I'm trying to do fast food, like burgers, fries, and these are notorious things for you feel bad after you eat them. But that's one of the most common things is they're like, we're not bloated, we don't feel bad. And then I think when they get that sort of feeling, then we're like, well, let's try this, and then maybe you won't get dry skin just getting out of the shower if you stop putting like all these soaps on there and all that. So yeah, I think it's just a snowball effect and like real world marketing. I think this will give us an advantage if we do roll out all over the country. Like I think there's not that many. I mean, a lot of people are online, obviously, but I don't think everybody's in this online bubble that we live in. So I think getting out there, like I didn't realize how much of a community aspect a restaurant is. Like I'll sit in there and there's people that they're just like, I'd love to have you in here. Or like I'm so glad you're here. Like it's good to meet you. And it's like, and then you learn things about other people that they're doing, like the neighbors, what are they doing, or like other people in San Diego. So I think yeah, just the whole thing, like the real world aspect of it is just it's like a breath of fresh air. Like people are not as chronically depressed as they are online.
Yeah.
Colin, I don't know. I would think, as Jeremy's talking here, I would think maybe this leads to like retail relationships inside of San Diego
100%.
for the products and things like that. I mean, do you? That's where I think like this could lead. Do you think so?
I mean, yeah, just the conversation is so much different. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, we're a D2C brand. This is our online presence. But you're like, hey, actually come into the store. I'll be there. We can have a burger together. We can have lunch together. We can talk about how we do retail expansion. Oh, by the way, here's all the products that we're talking about.
They're right
like,
It's awesome.
It's just like we're like marveling at this, and it's so genius. Are you gonna roll this out even more? Like, what's the plans here? Can you peel back?
I'm trying to like right now. I'm trying to raise $5 million. Like we never raised any money before, but I think now we can for the whole business. Yeah, it's I think we could do at least like 4 right away. Get a commercial kitchen to kind of support those restaurants, and then yeah, then it's off to the races. I've got a lot of like outreach for franchises, but it's kind of like what I'm realizing is you need somebody who's a member of the community. Like our manager at the restaurant, he's like a San Diego born and bred, and he knows the area. So I think like a lot of people come in and they'll like test you almost like, oh, like what school did you go to, or like, and they really get a kick like out of, oh yeah, I went to this high school like down the street. So I think that's like very big. Like so not rolling out too fast, but yeah, I joked like years ago, like I want to take down McDonald's, and it's the same thing.
Yes.
Like I don't see why. Like they're eventually gonna fall. Like why can't it be us?
Yeah.
Let me ask this, Jeremy. Let's just say, man, this restaurant aspect of what you're doing just takes off, which I totally could see it doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got great food with normal, healthy ingredients. Man, it's at a price that people love, and you know you've got locale built into it. You got people that are there from the community running it, etc. Man, would it bother you if the restaurant becomes a bigger deal than the rest of your products?
I swear, like I was kind of like a serial entrepreneur, like failed, but like I would try all these different businesses and like it never really had a feeling they would work. I was like, I gotta figure something out like for years. And then like when I started the toothpaste and the VanMan company, like I just immediately knew like this was it, like before the launch. And I think like I've had this similar feeling with the restaurant. Like I know like I it's just so obvious. Like restaurants are asleep at the wheel. Like 90% of them use Cisco products, which is just like it's like a giant, just like a giant mega disgusting. Like we did like a VIP they brought us in, and I was like, "What's Cisco?" I didn't even know what Cisco was back then, and they brought us in. They sat us down, and like they give us all this food. Like, yeah, we could do your buns, we could do your burgers, your fries. They all come in this pre-packed box. You just like slop them in, and they taste great. And then you look at every single ingredient, and it's like it's all trash. And every restaurant uses the same thing, and it's just like it's an epidemic because people like you can't go out to eat unless you know like who owns the restaurant. It's just like any chain is using this microwave bags or they're it's just gross. So
Wow.
yeah, I think it's just so obvious that whether we do it fast enough or like I think it's hopefully the return of like the mom and pop restaurant because
Yeah.
people should be cooking things like we make our milkshake sauce like a chocolate sauce, like it's like a reduced cocoa powder, like everything. So it's cumbersome, like it takes a long time to make the stuff, and the prep work is like a lot. But yeah, the flavor comes out, people aren't bloated, and I think that's like it's slower, but it's like it's the slow and steady thing. I think it's gonna take over.
Wow.
Man, I love that. You know, as I'm just considering, man, all the products that you offer, vanman.shop, you got the tooth powder, you got the chewing gum, you got the deodorant, you got the
Mhm.
soap, you've got so many things available. And plus you've got this food aspect to everything that you're doing. The thing that I love about all of this is that it taps into a kind of a whole lifestyle adoption. There's like a thought underneath this that there's a new way for me to live.
And it's
And
the old way, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the
Yeah.
old way. It's ancestral. It's primal. I think another company here local to Austin that does this really well is Heart and Soil,
Yeah.
where they're tapping into like there is a way to live that can encompass your whole life that's going to make you feel better. Here's our entrance to it, but it's really an entrance to an entirely transformative lifestyle. I think that's what's most
Yeah.
compelling about this. Do you see yourself leaning into that more and more products that people can, adopt and use for this kind of lifestyle transformation?
Yeah, I think like the biggest hurdle with that is like a normal person who's just not exposed to that lifestyle. They'll get like they'll be like, oh my god, everything's poison, and then they get overwhelmed, and then they just go back to whatever they're doing. So I think it's important to like you just got to chip away at it over. You're never gonna like remove poisons from like it's a poison world, so you're just never really gonna get it all out. So I think yeah, it's I think that's what's happening, but I think it's you have to just be cautious to like not overwhelm people. Like your toothpaste poison, your air in your home is poison. There's probably mold in your house. Like everything is bad, but yeah, it's you still have to. I think the mind plays a huge role in how healthy you are. So if you think you're covered in poison, you're gonna get sicker and sicker. So I think
Oh yeah.
you just have to sort of compartmentalize. Like this needs to eventually change, but I can't do it right now, so don't stress about it. But just yeah, if you can't afford the products, there's ways to make it at home. There, but yeah, it's just kind of a process, and yeah, like a transformation is definitely like intimidating. I think so. Yeah, you gotta I don't know ease into it. I think, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Have you noticed or seen, do you have like a white whale of a product category where you're like, we haven't tackled this yet, but gosh, is this ripe for disruption? Like I would love to tackle XYZ product. Or maybe you're like, hey, I'm cool. I'm probably not going to tackle that, but I really think somebody else should tackle this problem because it is
Yeah.
ripe. Do you have anything like that?
I mean, I'm a big snacker. Like I love snacks, so
Same
I would
here.
just want
I
want
love the
clean
snacks.
snacks, and I think the
Same.
ripest one. I'm like even afraid to say it, but like everyone's making these protein bars, fiber bars. Like
Yeah.
I just want a candy bar. Like I want a Snickers bar that's
Yeah.
clean. So I want to make that. Like yeah, it's maybe
Yeah.
not the best for you, but like if you're just out, you going and doing a bunch of stuff, and you want like some quick food, like why not like a clean Snickers bar? So I think that gets me excited like that, and then like tallow popcorn. I think we could make. But yeah,
Oh.
Oh, I love
Woo.
tallow popcorn. Now you're talking to me, dude. I love
yeah.
tallow popcorn. I snack on it all the time.
Yeah, and it's like it's light, so that like fills you up
Yeah.
for like low calories, and then yeah, when you need the extra density, you get like a clean Snickers bar. So yeah, I think there's room for because not everyone wants protein, fiber, and everything. Like people still want flavor. Flavor, I think, is key still. Like it's gotta be good. And then yeah, like that. We're trying to get a commercial kitchen. We're like close to a lease, and then that we'd probably roll out tallow popcorn, and then I want to do cough drops too. I feel like that's kind of low hanging fruit. Like
Yeah, there we
Dang.
go, baby.
yeah, but you have to do
Wow.
FDA stuff with that, so it's a lot more
Yeah.
licensing. But I have that meme from years ago. Like, I want to take everything back. I feel like everything was stolen. Like, as long as like my goal is kind of like find the right person to run this, because if you can't empower people to run certain portions, like you're just gonna be bogged down with everything. So like we have a great manager at the restaurant, like a great GM at the warehouse, and yeah, they allow me to like expand into these other things because they could handle all the stuff. Yeah, so it's that's probably the three though: candy bar, cough drops. Like maybe there's only 2 brands that make them, and then yeah, Tala popcorn I think could crush.
If you make that Snickers bar, let me know. I'm gonna buy a case right away.
Yeah, because you've seen those candy bar. Like every influencer makes it on Instagram. It's like a date base with like peanut butter,
dark chocolate.
I made one. Like it was amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, like if we just, I don't want to make that every time. It's like an ordeal to make. So yeah, if
it is
a packaged bar. Like yeah, I think that would crush. You couldn't really charge a ton because it's not like a supplement, but I think like a $2-3, like maybe double the price of a Snickers. But
yeah,
people, it's not
this would crush. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about that.
I think the case has been thoroughly proven that if something's going to be healthier for me, better for me, then I'll pay more for it. You know,
yeah. I think Masa proved that out. Yeah,
exactly. Masa is a great example.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear about this perhaps CPG future for
amazing
for the VanMan.
Yeah, we're taking it all back.
Take it all back, man. Give me insight, and I think this is really valuable, Jeremy, for founders and department leaders like you. I know, having talked with Dean over at Heart and Soil, a big part of team members that they want to bring on, of course, they got to be good at what they're doing. They've got to be responsible, et cetera. But they want people that are bought into the mission. I mean, they want people who at their core identify with this and see the problem and can move into it in a way that authentically represents who you are and what you're about. Man, how do you go about finding people like that? Is it serendipitous, or how does it happen?
I think initially you just need to find like people that are willing to work, and then you sort of like can get some leverage where you have like time and more money to go pursue people that agree with the mission. Because I think if you have a business, like no matter how good the business is, there's going to be a lot of things that go wrong. People are going to be super stressed out. But if you have that underlying mission, people like I think lash out less. That it's just like a way of life. Like it has to move forward. I think Elon Musk is probably like the greatest ever at that. Is like people work 25 hours a day because like they feel like they are saving the world. So I think we're doing that in a different way. Like I think the mission's always been like use products to use part of the animal, and then to eventually drive meat prices down. Because if we could make leather out of the skin, if we can make toothpaste out of the bones, and we can like use everything, we could really drive the cost of meat down, and it's higher quality meat, better care for the animals. So yeah, I think keeping that underlying thing is just, it eliminates a lot of headaches, because if people believe in it, they're less likely to just blow up, I think.
Wow. I love it. I love the mission. The only thing that I don't love right now is that we are not in San Diego.
I know. Chris and I have talked about this so much. We're furious.
Where you got? You're in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Collins in Charlotte, and
far away.
I think we just need to plan on the next time we have you on, Jeremy. We are on location. We're inside of the restaurant and talking to you.
I was almost gonna do this in the restaurant, but then I was like, it might be too noisy.
Well, man, we really appreciate your time and appreciate you coming on, and love what you're doing. And there's a lot of sage wisdom there for people inside of our space, and mission authentically representing that, products for that, finding people for that, and living into it in a way that people respond to and rally around. I love it. And man, we look forward to talking with you again and having you on again in live and in living color, though.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this show is awesome too. I love like energy you guys have too. Like watching the other ones, I think you guys are onto something big here too.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you. We look forward to having you back.
All right, thanks for having me.
That's crazy. I would love that chocolate bar too. And there's already proof of validity, because he talked on it a little bit, because he was like, yeah, you see it all over TikTok. And so there's already these like viral aspects to that recipe. I've made that recipe a ton, and it's delicious. And it's like 3 ingredients. And I'm like, this is delicious. delicious. I'd much rather eat this than a Snickers bar.
I love that. I love the potential CPG play. Tallow popcorn. Gimme.
Plus, he can test every single thing in person before he launches it.
Exactly.
He can just get the feedback right there.
Here's the samples, guys. You're coming in for your burger, your fries, your milkshake.
Give us some
sample
feedback.
This. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So good.
That's so wise. And I think too, something of note is that for Jeremy, Elon, other people, Paul Saladino, when they have a kind of a worldview, when they have a mission that people can identify with, rally around, help them see and change their own life in perspective of, those are the kind of people that attract talent. I mean, that attracts talent. It's like, yes, I see it. I see the problems with me. I experience a transformation. Like, I want to join. I want to be part of this. And having this kind of thought about, hey, man, we're going to take it all back. Yeah. How about leather? How about beef prices? How about CBG? All of these. It's compelling. I mean, wouldn't you want to work for somebody like that? I mean, to me, it's powerful.
Plus, it also gives you the longevity to keep going, because this is a really, I mean, he talks about all the greats, like running a restaurant is unbelievably difficult.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
And so, you have to have some serious huevos to just keep going day in and day out. And if you have this kind of ethos inside of you that this is the mission, you can keep going.
I love it. I love it, and I'm here for it. And I want to see him continue to succeed.
And we're gonna bring him back next year. He's gonna have like 20 restaurants.
Probably. I mean, $5 million, man. ElevenLabs just raised 500. Can the VanMan not get 5? He can.
Come on, man.
We believe that he can.
Come on.
At least 4 more locations. Yeah. At least.
For sure.
I'm here for it, man. I can't wait to go in person. We need to book it, and we need to make it happen, and then we go and do the show in person with VanMan. Absolutely. And we'll have Max come in too, because he's right here in San Diego. Max Grantham must be there as well. Before we move on and wrap up here with our last couple of stories, we should talk about Seguno. Partners of the show, friends of the show. I appreciate them and love them so much because their tool, emails, reviews, pop-ups, banners, etc., it is built for founders and upstart companies, just like VanMan was and is growing here forward. Lean teams with big dreams and big aspirations. It's the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean? Why is it important? It means that you can actually trust your data. The Shopify data is the data. This is email 3.0, one-click automations, actual humans who can help you. They've been working inside of Shopify so long that they actually just help their customers with Shopify problems. Okay. And all of this is a big reason why they get the 2024 app build of the year for Shopify. Okay. If you don't have a full-time email marketer on your team, okay, you need to be talking with and test driving Seguno. Good news is they will give you a free trial. You go to seguno.com. If you tell them that Colin and I sent you, they'll give you an extended free trial. You get 30 days, okay? Go to Seguno, find more dollars inside of all of your retention space, and make it easy on yourself, okay? Make it easy on yourself. Scale more. Make it easy. Quit it with the headaches. No duct tape integrations and data, etc. Go to Seguno. Talk with our friends there. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Okay, to wrap here, Colin, just a couple more stories before we get out of here. You still got time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. A couple more stories here before we leave. Oren John. This is on the other side of AI ad creative. Our good friend Oren Meets World. He had this to say for what he is seeing with his own eyes inside of the ad accounts that he is working with. Have never seen a tactic driving to zero faster than AI creatives in the ad account. alpha lasted a whole 60 days. I've referenced this 60 days many times since starting this show, but I think this is interesting on the other side of all of this creative that we're seeing impressively develop, and like we saw with Fraser Cottrell's video that he just produced, gave us the prompt for. What do you think of this? I mean, if Oren is seeing it, I believe it. I wonder if this is industry wide, and maybe the consumers are going to get smarter than we think they are and stop clicking and going on those ads.
No, it's just iterations. It's just you got to keep moving the goalpost a little bit and changing the AI iterations. So like the first version, the V1 of AI ads probably does not work anymore. He's probably right on that. But these like shaky videos, different scripts, all of this stuff, this is probably version 3 to 4 of AI ads that we've seen so far. This probably still works. And so it's not that AI ads as a whole don't work anymore. It's just certain versions get kind of burnt out and they only have a certain life within the ad account. And then you got to spin up new kind of versions and iterations of the AI. So I completely disagree.
I think the shaky video rawness as part of the prompt, I mean, it's really compelling right now. I don't know how long it lasts.
It'll last a while.
I mean, maybe we all have these deployed by next week, and maybe instead of 60, it's 30 days. I don't know.
But everybody's just shaking.
I do think. I mean, can't you see that? I think everybody, by the end of February, everybody's going to have like shaky video UGC inside of their ad account. It's going to be ubiquitous. It'll be everywhere. That's my take. I don't think the alpha is going to last so long. But I think you do bring up a good point here. And the ball is moving so fast. It's moving so fast.
It's going to be crazy when LinkedIn finds out about shaky ads in 6 months. You know what I mean? It'll be nuts. It'll be nuts.
That's great. That's great. Somebody needs to make a shaky video with like Abraham Lincoln in the video or something, I mean, that to me would take the cake. But the ball's moving so fast. And I do think Oren has, obviously he's got a point, otherwise he wouldn't have tweeted it. But I do think he has a point here in that, man, you have got to stay cutting edge because there is an onslaught of creative that is coming forth organically on the advertising side, testing many ways and many angles. And man, every time I get inside of Twitter, there's a new tool to use and test. And so it's time to double down. I've seen him tweet about this as well. It is time to double down. Just getting comfortable using Sora or just getting comfortable using your tool of choice. And hey, I saved myself some money. I didn't have to hire an influencer. That's not going to get it because the window's closing. And the ball's moving ever faster. We've got to stay on top of the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and just thinking about launch videos from ReadMotion in Claude.
Yeah.
Like D2C brands can still use that angle as an ad angle and kind of think about this is another type of avenue we can go down for an ad as well. That's a whole new format.
I think in this vein, we should talk about agencies and how they are evolving. I'm talking about Y Combinator here, Carson. Y Combinator released a series of videos that they released a thread and they had a number of points. And one of them that they brought forth here was AI native agencies and how, they brought up the difficulties with scaling a service business. Got to hire overhead and all of the things, which we already know. But what I thought was interesting was this is something that we have been talking about for some time, AI native agencies or software enabled agencies, a meeting of man and machine where it's no longer just, hey, I've got the skilled person or, hey, I've got this cool tool, but they meet somewhere in the middle and it is that software savvy person with growth mindset and experience behind them who is executing that on your behalf. This is something that we've been talking about in our space for some time. And Taylor Holiday brought up this point. He quote tweeted this announcement, said this like it was breaking news. Guess he hasn't heard about Sean's. This is Taylor's abbreviation of software enabled agencies. Agencies are now venture eligible. I really do think this meeting of man and machine is not just the future, it is the now. It's something that a lot of people in our space have been talking about. Do you think the same? I think that here forward, these two are going to be largely combined. We'll see it happen in the software space and in the agency space as well.
Yeah, this is the next evolution of agencies where they have to do this or die. There is no in between for this. I will say an extreme example to paint my picture for you. Imagine you go to an agency in 2026 and you're like, "Hey, we'd love to work with you." And they're like, "Oh, cool. How do you want to work together?" And they're like, "Oh, you just mail us the stuff that you're interested in." You're like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Oh, we don't use computers." You're like,
Yeah.
"What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we print out stuff and then we'll mail it back to you." And like, we're cool, right? You're like, "No shot. I'm not working with this agency. You don't use computers." The same thing is going to be said for agencies that don't use AI in a very short time window. So you have to learn how to do this, and you got to learn how to do this quick. I think agencies should have somebody in-house that is hey, I'm going to figure out all the AI stuff guy, and I'm going to also figure out how to build it for all of our systems. I've already talked to an agency owner this morning who is basically building out a full replacement to a $15,000 a month tool. And he's like, "I vibe coded this in 2 weeks and it's going to save us $15,000 a month. And it cost us some Claude credits."
That's
And
crazy.
he's a little dev savvy, not like a full on senior dev at AWS, but this is crazy stuff. This is $15,000 a month.
I don't know that every agency has to go that route in the sense of developing their own kind of unique stamped software that they uniquely bring to their clients. I wonder if there's going to be a way to use the tools available to apply them in a unique workflow way that goes according to your paid ad spend philosophy and what you like to do on email and all of the things. I wonder if agencies at large are just going to largely be able to use the tools that are available. I talked with a top tier agency owner as well. not this morning, but yesterday. And he said that there are, guess how many agencies you think there are in the United States? How many would you say?
Probably 30,000.
It's 20,000. 20,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
His take is that there are about 50 good ones out of the 20K. There's about 50 good agencies.
That's wild.
But I do think that this is the future. I don't know that you have to have your own stamp, although it probably helps with the salesmanship and the process and being able to fine tune that thing for you. But man and machine, they've got to work in harmony now. Ne'er the two shall be separated here forward. I really believe that. And I just want to say this. I know there's a lot of agency hate out there. Okay. I've been on the brand side many times. Okay. I know. And I know why there's agency hate out there. Sometimes you work for somebody and it doesn't end up going well and what. But I will say this. We love the agencies. I do. I love the agencies here on this show. And the reason that I do is that we need them. Okay. We need them overseeing many accounts, finding what works inside of this brand for that brand, et cetera. That perspective we need brand side. If you're living in a well and all you can see is that one little circle above you, you're not able to have the same perspective that agencies do. And because they must now have this cutting edge element of using the tools available to do a good job for their clients, I think even more than ever, we need to listen and see what they're using and learn and apply what works across the entire industry.
For sure.
Well, many thanks to Jeremy, the VanMan, for joining the show. Many thanks to our partners, Seguno and Postscript and AMP. And we've got somebody very exciting coming on the show tomorrow. Bart of Dad Gang is going to be here. You should give us some questions too. We're going to put out a tweet later and invite a few questions. If he's game for that, little mailbag time, because I think, we get a top tier operator like this on. I think we should have a little mailbag time. Is that fair, Colin?
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast. Many thanks for tuning in. And the good news is we'll be here tomorrow. We'll see you on the other side.